in, like, has a nice office and expensive part of town, all that, does great work, works with a lot of other great architects. She's an interior designer, but they do some drawing and some finish selection.
Yeah.
And so they called me and they said they got this project out. It's about a $400,000 budget, and it is an interior remodel only. And I was like, okay, I'd be happy to take a look at it for you guys. And so I went out there, and they live there, and they've owned the house since '96, and they walked me through kind of everything that they want done. I kind of started my spiel. I said, well, let's sit down and talk, a little bit about how kind of we work. What I'll do is I'll kind of look at the plans and I'll kind of develop my initial assessment just off the bat. I think that your $400,000 kind of budget is in line with what I see just in general. For a scope of work. And then if you want us to hard bid and do all that, we charge a small fee for that, and then we become part of the project team and And he goes, whoa. He's like, I am not doing that. He's like, am not paying you to do that. That is ridiculous. I'm getting 3 bids from 3 contractors, and we're going to hard bid it, and they're going to stick to that number. And I said, look, I was like, right now, you can't do that. You have like 2 sheets. You're not going to be able to do that off of what you've got. You're going to need a lot more information. And what we've seen through people going the hard bid route is you're not going to get the best contractor. You're going to get the worst estimator. He's like, well, no way I'm paying you to do that. That's your job to do. And how I've sold my pre-con is I have reimbursed the $3,000 on the first invoice.
Yeah.
And because it is part of the job, if I get the job or whatever, I was like, look, we give it back to you if you hire us to build it. But if we bid it out and it's $450 and it's too much, you have that information, and that information costs you a little bit of money if you don't use us.
Yeah.
And so he's like, nope, not going to do it. And so I stood up, shook both of their hands, and said, well, this isn't the project for us. I left. And I was like, well, that sucks, but, those aren't the clients for me. Well, the architect, or the designer, I called her and I was like, hey, you need to qualify your clients a little bit. I don't know who provides hard bids based on that information, but whoever they're talking to, that's not how me and most of the other contractors are working. We're not going to go hard bid something that's not guaranteed, and I'm not going to get anybody else involved in that. And she's like, I'm sorry. She's like, they have it in their minds and they're stubborn, and will you please help us out on this one? We really want you. And I was just like, I don't know. So they've sent me the revised set of plan, like the next set. And they're like, can you look at this project? We really want you to be involved. And I guess the owners backtracked on that, and I don't know, it's sitting in my inbox, and I don't know where to go with it.
Did the project, now that you have a little bit more detail, get more expensive?
I haven't looked at it in that much detail. I don't think so. I think it's just more of what they were talking about doing is now on paper.
Yeah.
But I don't know that the scope has increased from what they told me.
Yeah, but you do have more information now.
Yes.
Not necessarily about the project, about these 2 that you would potentially have to work for. Guess what? The price just went up.
Yeah.
So just look at the plans. We'll be honest. Look at the plans. Call the designer back and say, yeah, I glanced over it. Looks like it's a little bit more. Now that we have some more information, looks like the project's going to be north of $400,000. That's kind of the number that I told them. I don't know that if they want to spend that or not. And if they're still going hard bid route or whatever, we're really not interested in it. But I can confidently tell you, professional to professional, that it's probably north of $400,000 for the right contractor to do it. I don't think that we're interested in it, but I'm just giving you this number to help your client.
Right.
That's what I run from this project. When someone like I was talking to a client yesterday and saying, your customers don't understand that everybody tries to put their best foot forward at the first meeting, right? Like you're trying to say, here's what we can do, and here's our experience, and this is a great project. See, that's you putting your best foot forward, even though you may be picking up on a couple of things that you're like, oh gosh, these guys are kind of picky. Their best foot forward is a foot on your neck. Like,
right.
if that's how they're starting out the job and they're displaying them, it's just going to get worse in the job. You run away from this project.
Yeah.
And just, but use the relationship with the designer. Frankly, we are not interested in this job. But I spent about an hour going over the plans, and it reaffirmed what I saw out in the field. In fact, I think the price is going up. It's probably more about $425, $450. But I'm just telling you that because I like working with you and I really appreciate you. And you repeat it again, we are not interested in this project. In fact, I think your clients are going down the wrong path by bidding it out because they still don't have all the information. And frankly, it seems like they want to run the job. If they want to run the job, what are they hiring a contractor for?
Right.
But I don't want, it just doesn't make sense. It's not a good fit for us. But gosh, I really appreciate you giving us the opportunity. Any other projects that you want to look at with, or you say, hey, maybe next time if you want to bring us in on the project, it's okay if you say, hey, I want you to talk to these guys. Now, they have a little bit different system, but I think this system is something you should hear them out on in their pre-construction and how they walk their clients. Get this designer to set you up in the future. Designers are almost as bad as contractors as making money. They give away their time and work for free too a lot of times.
And it's like this one sounds like a big project, and if they're doing it, like for this designer, it's probably a big project. If she's drawing it, usually the architect draws it, and they're just picking tile, and so it's probably a big one for them, which they're allowing these guys to do things differently that they wouldn't normally do because it's a big project for the designers. Is also what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and the designers too, you got to be careful. Sometimes they want to make all the money on the high end, fixtures and stuff.
Yep.
And so,
yes, I'm well aware of those situations.
So but that's what you deal with high end designers. You're just like, yeah, then I'm not pricing it. If I'm not touching it and I'm not making money on it, I can't be responsible for it. You get it here and coordinate it, and we'll stick it in. We'll charge for the installation of it.
Right.
But
you're picking it up, you're delivering it, you're unloading it, you're signing for it,
Yeah, exactly. And you're also delivering me the specifications 3 months before, because we got to lay the stuff out in the wall and the blocking and all that kind of stuff. If you do all of that, no problem. If you don't want to do any of that, that's no problem either. We charge $95 an hour. So it's totally up to you. And they say, well, I make money on the countertops. Great. Then we'll lay out the cabinets and install the cabinets, and we'll tell you they're ready to go, and you get the you get the countertops installed. Not a problem for us.